All right, so you went on the carnivore diet to lose some weight, but instead you started gaining it. And you hear all these testimonials about people losing crazy amount of weight by going on a carnivore diet. But this is just not your story. Let's talk about this in today's video. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sylvia and I'm a carnivore diet coach. Let's start with the most difficult demographic to make a quick impact with a carnivore diet, and that is the women in the age group between 40 to 50, 55, and thereafter. So, perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal women. Yes, we have it a little bit more challenging. So, if you have gone on the carnivore diet and you're on it 6 to 8 weeks and you're gaining weight instead of losing it, there's probably more to the story, and it is not connected to the carnivore diet alone. The main thing here is the changes and fluctuations in your hormones. So, if you're at the stage of perimenopause or menopause and there are a lot of mood changes, hormonal fluctuations, and you're trying to go on the carnivore diet, you made it through the first 6 to 8 weeks and you're not seeing any improvement, have your hormones checked. We're talking about progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen, but also talk to your doctor about your thyroid. I cannot tell you how many perimenopausal and menopausal women deal with not functional thyroid along with other hormonal changes. Almost always, when I deal with a client that is struggling with losing weight on the carnivore diet, what is running in the background is underactive thyroid with some form of Hashimoto's, sometimes very mild, sometimes more severe. So it is very important that you know what's going on with your thyroid, especially if you've gone on a carnivore diet and instead of losing weight, you are gaining it. All right, so what to do if you were diagnosed with underactive thyroid or worse yet with Hashimoto's and you don't want to take the synthetic hormone? And I don't blame you because I didn't want to take it myself. When I was trying to get pregnant the second time, my doctor said that my TSH levels should be a lot lower for the optimal pregnancy and the child's IQ, and I should be taking synthetic hormone. I think it was levothyroxine. I took the lowest amount I was able to take that he let me take it. I was feeling horrible. My hair was falling out. I was watching it falling out. My eyes were bulging. I had the feeling that they were going to fall out of my head. And I had this nervousness and anxiety about myself that I could not tolerate. So after 2 weeks, I said, no way, I'm not doing it. I switched to the desiccated thyroid gland. I took the equivalent of what I was taking in the synthetic hormones. And within just a couple of days, I started feeling a lot better. And I was monitoring my blood work about once a month. And I know this thing worked because for the duration of pregnancy, I was taking my blood and testing it for the thyroid hormones. And they were perfect just with this. I stopped taking the synthetic hormone altogether. And if I need to improve my energy levels and performance of my thyroid, that's what I always resort to. And if you're curious where I get my supplements from, I have an account with Fullscript. If you want to check it out, you go to my website and you can click on the links. I'm not affiliated with this particular brand. This is the one I'm selecting. There are many different supplement makers that are producing very high quality desiccated thyroid gland supplements. So pick the one that works for you. If you're just curious, I'm sharing what I'm doing. But I always have a supply on hand given that I'm a perimenopausal woman and there is a history of thyroid issues in my family, and I was born in a Chernobyl affected area, so that's something I always pay attention to. Another very common reason as to why you can't lose weight while being on the carnivore diet are the hormonal changes related to aging, and it affects both men and women. Women have to focus on progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen, and men focus mostly on testosterone. But with age, both sexes start losing them, and the loss of these hormones slows down the metabolism and it makes losing of weight a lot harder. So find the right practitioner, and this will not be easy. I tell you this from my own experience. You will be dismissed, you will be called crazy, and you'll be asked to take some antidepressants. That's exactly what happened to me. But when you find the right person, if you look long enough, they will understand what's happening to your hormones, and they will match you with the right amount of hormones and the right way of taking them. In my case, I'm taking it as a tablet under my tongue. That's for progesterone in the second half of my cycle. And I have testosterone as a pellet in my butt. And men, you can benefit from hormone replacement therapy as well. This will affect you later in life than it happens to us women, but you can benefit from bioidentical testosterone just as much as women do. So don't ignore it. I know you don't like to go to the doctors. Stay on your carnivore diet, but go check your hormones, particularly testosterone, and if appropriate, take the hormone replacement therapy. It will help you with losing of weight if you are struggling with it while being on the carnivore diet. Another very common reason as to why people can't lose weight while being on the carnivore diet is the dysfunctional gut microbiome. And I know what you are thinking, but the carnivore diet should correct it. And in vast majority of cases, it does. But there is a certain subset of people whose gut microbiome is very resistant to change. And they have another characteristic. They have a very special relationship with food. When they're sad, they eat. When they feel lonely, they eat. When they feel stressed out, they eat. When they feel unloved, they eat. And this is the same subset that will struggle with weight for most of their lives, going back as far back as being children. So these people have usually those change resistance gut microbiomes. And in those cases, I recommend that they add fermented foods to help the process. So it could be a yogurt, a kefir, or sauerkraut, or the juice from the sauerkraut. I know it's not carnivore, but it is a reasonable remedy to recommend if we are dealing with people that have this type of problems with gut microbiome. Now, I want you to be very careful if you are dealing with autoimmunity and or histamine intolerance. Fermented foods, fermented dairy, or dairy alone may not be appropriate. In fact, they can cause a lot more problem than help. I'm speaking about fermented dairy and sauerkraut or the juice of the sauerkraut only in the context of helping somebody to lose weight, not anything else. Now that you address your thyroid health, your hormones, your mental relationship with food, and your gut microbiome, you can make some adjustment to your carnivore diet to optimize it for weight loss. And you're going to do it by restricting the amount of proteins that you are consuming. And there will be about 450 grams or about a pound of meat a day and additional 5 tablespoons of animal saturated fat. Animal, no olive oil and no coconut oil. You keep this up for a few weeks, you'll stay in ketosis. This way, with this ratio, you will derive about 80% of your calories from fat and 20% of calories from meat. And sooner or later, this will result with weight loss. And it will be a sustainable weight loss while you will feel high levels of satiety. Remember, the carnivore diet is probably the best strategy to address metabolic issues and chronic disease. But it is not a universal panacea, and if you are at the stage where you would benefit from additional healing modalities, just use them. They're there for you. We don't want to be stuck in ideology that carnivore diet can do it all. If you need some additional help, even if you need to take some additional supplements while you are going on the carnivore diet, do it. Eventually, you will arrive where you need to be. You will for sure optimize your health. And if you need additional help with it, so be it. All right, so this will do it for this week's video. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that notification bell. Send this video to anybody that's on the carnivore diet and struggling with weight loss. Subscribe to this channel. Sign up for my mailing list, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.